Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Brent McGrath, and I'm the host of Talks and Discussions, What Matters and What Doesn't Matter. And tonight we have I have an old friend, Herminio. How are you today? How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. Thanks for inviting me to this special space.
Hey, I wouldn't have it any other way. You're a very special guest for me. Can you tell us about your life before NXP?
Sure. Well, I've been always kind of like creative person, I'm gonna say. Like since I was a child, I was into like really to create, to draw or to paint, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was studying industrial design in Guadalajara. I I was really into traveling. I went from uh, I went to Korea as an exchange student. That was
Mm-hmm.
my first trip out of like Mexico, right?
Right.
Um, so that was really special to me. I met a lot of people, nationalities. Um, then I was also intrigued by how to kind of like participate in design contests. So I was able to be in India for quite some time developing products there, always
Mm-hmm.
helping people. I really like that. And then I came back to Mexico. I was in my mind, I was looking forward to kind of like work probably somewhere in Europe. I was really attracted kind of like be involved with a lot of nationalities,
Mm-hmm.
right? But somehow like I was young, I didn't know about like all this paperwork. I would thought it was easier to kind of get a visa, like so
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't the case. I came back to Mexico and I had my first job mm, in a Mexican company. I used to design faucets and head showers, all
Mm-hmm.
everything related to bathroom.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I was able to be in the zero process of stage product development, right? And
Mm-hmm.
all the way to the end. So I was there for about 3 years and I really liked that job. Even though it was really far away, it was close to the airport, right? So
Okay.
um, and yeah, that was pretty much it. My life. Yeah, always creating, designing. Yeah,
Okay. Well, I remember before we talked, you said you came back to Mexico in 2015, correct?
correct. Yeah, when I thought like I did everything that I could where I used to work, right?
Mhm.
And I didn't see myself getting like a getting promoted, like kind of like that company was in a different organization or org chart, right?
Mhm.
So that was hard kind of like to see that there were not a lot of chances there. So I flew away and I applied for this national scholarship, which is from CONACYT, which is the um, Science Council of Mexico, right? So I went to Japan. I lived there for 1 year. I kind of like a researcher, right?
Mhm.
I was there like to check the design and innovation from Japan, also some modern and this traditional design
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
So, and I came back in at the end of 2015. So basically, 2015 was Japan.
Okay. Okay. So, what kind of job were you looking for when you got back in 2015?
Well, to be honest, I thought like all the companies will be chasing me, like actually when I just updated my resume that I um speak Japanese, right? I used to be more fluent back then.
Mhm.
Um, next day or next 2 days, I had like several calls from Japanese companies located in Mexico. So they needed like some people to kind of work there as translator, I guess.
Mhm.
But my Japanese was not like really kind of like advanced.
Mhm.
So and then like I was looking for some I don't know, design jobs. Like
Mhm.
I wanted to be involved in this new product development thing,
Right.
but I wasn't able to kind of like get an interview.
Hmm.
That was quite shocking because my reality was another thing, right?
Right.
So, and yeah, I think like my resume kind of like picture myself like a person like had a lot of experience and I wanted to, I don't know, have a fat salary. I don't know, like
Hmm.
I guess that was what this company is perceived from me, right?
Right.
But yeah, and at the end of the day, like probably 5 months later, when I came back to Mexico, and believe me, like I promoted everything that I did in Japan. So the funny thing is that I was getting a lot of attention from like design magazines and some other in really famous contests, right, from
Mhm.
Mexico and from other parts of the world,
Right.
but I wasn't able to get a job. So that was quite hard to see. But NXP called me and they wanted to have someone like me, like doing something like technical illustrator, right?
Hmm. Okay.
So I just took it and I was like, okay, I'll get this, and I hope one day I do something really cool in this company.
Okay. We talked about a message that you wanted to give to some of the younger engineers coming up. So what is that message that you want to share with them?
That's interesting to mention because when I was studying, I mean, I always come up with this gadgets or conceptual enclosures for smart objects, and my professors were like, "Oh, you should design furniture, so you should design jewelry, right? Because that's what we do here in Guadalajara." So it was like, and they told me like, "There's no space for this here, so you should kind of like consider that." So I had that in mind. I was like, "Oh, probably they are right."
Hmm.
But I ended up doing that. I'm right now. I moved to another team. I have in this hardware team 3.5 years,
Hmm.
so it's more what I always wanted to do, right? And funny story as well is that I didn't know that there was a team doing what I wanted to do at the first place, right?
Right.
So then I joined, and mm, the things that I'm doing right now are related to 100% to smart gadgets, technology, 5G, NFC. So everything that back then a lot of people told me that was impossible, right? So now
Hmm.
I'm seeing that it's possible. So I would like to share that to everyone that's listening to this, that don't pay a lot of attention to those who are telling you that you cannot do it, right?
Hmm.
They can tell you that it's hard to do it,
Right.
but they can show you the way to do it. So that's my message. I used to teach as well, like back then, like it was like 2018, 2018 and 2019.
Hmm.
I always told my students like, don't give up, be proactive, just deliver 130%, right? Because that's what people like seeing.
Hmm. Okay. One of the things is that happened when you were at NXP is that we have Toastmasters there, and I was part of Toastmasters with you guys. So I
True.
thought this would be a no-brainer question to ask you. How has Toastmasters enhanced your business life and also your personal life?
Uh, that's a good one. Toastmaster helped me a lot to enhance, as you said, my
Mhm.
communication skills. I always knew that that I'm social, that I don't have
Mhm.
any problem to communicate to anyone, right? I like talking,
Mhm.
but Toastmaster refined that way to kind of like be more professional,
Okay.
because it's not the same way to talk to an audience, to talk to students, to talk to a peer, right?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
talk to your mom. that's totally different language. It's a totally different language, sorry, and different approaches.
Mhm.
So Toastmaster helps you to differentiate that, and that's what I like from it. And by the way, you were the one that invited me to Toastmasters, and
Mhm.
it was that was a good decision to make.
Well, no, it's always a good decision to go to Toastmasters, no matter where you are. Yeah. So what's next for you?
Mm, actually, that's a good question, because right now, even though we are in the middle of difficult times,
Mhm.
I decided to open my design studio, my ceramic studio. When I
Mhm.
was in Japan, I mean, I grew up in Tlaquepaque. For those who know Tlaquepaque, is well known about crafts, and I was always surrounded by this material.
Right.
And Japan as well, like I felt more connected to it, and I always thought like, oh, maybe one day I will open my studio. And that's why I stopped teaching, right? That was before pandemic, at the beginning of 2020. And I said like, well, I will open my studio, and that's what I did last year. I opened my studio.
Mhm.
I'm doing a lot of designs. A lot of projects are coming, so that's what's next. So that's my next project, to take this baby to the next level, like be more involved with other projects and upcoming events and people, right? Like
Mhm.
are interested to see the type of work that I do.
Well, I'm very happy that you came on the show tonight because you are one of the guys that I met and I haven't seen for a long time, but I know you're a very, very talented young man. So I hope all the best for you in your future and in your future endeavors and everything that you plan on doing from here on.
Thank you so much, Brent. You are so special to me, and also you are uh, a person that everyone remembers the next P, right? So you are a solid rock there and a piece of Toastmasters. So it's good that you still remember us, that
Yeah.
you open this space to me. So thanks from the bottom of my heart.
Okay. Take care.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.